can tell you that being an empath is super confusing until you understand what an empath is. A lot of you probably had a similar experience to me growing up, in that you pretty much just love everything and you fall in love with a lot of people. And it's not that you don't understand love, because you probably understand love a lot deeper than anyone else around you, but the thing is, you get confused on the difference between falling in love and loving. And that's where the problem is as an empath when you're growing up, because we're going to get hurt by a lot of people. And as an empath, though, before you came here, that's something that you chose in order to kind of tailor yourself to the person that you want to be later. So just understand this, young empaths, you're going to be confused and you're going to suffer a bit, because it's going to strengthen you to be the empath that you need to be. So, used to, for me, whenever I would meet a woman or a young lady, I would just really get smitten, like really quickly, you know. I would find stuff about them that was amazing, and I would get really interested in them and kind of overdo it a bit sometimes, as far as trying to make myself the person that would be best for them. Now, I don't know if it stems from abusive childhood or not, but a lot of us empaths try extra hard to make sure that people around us are loved and taken care of, because our soul nature is to ensure that other people are happy. And the empath can go down a slippery slope of self-destruction with this, because we do forget a lot of the times to give ourselves the care that we offer to others. So as an empath, one of the most important things that you can do is take a look at the way that you give other people love and kind of do a little bit of a self-check and make sure that you're providing that exact same type of love to yourself. Because we can forget a lot of the times, that we require to be refreshed and re-energized as empaths. A lot of us can go, look how high the water is today. A lot of us can go a long time in suffering, a long time, without saying anything to anyone or without caring, because, we notice that when we suffer because we're providing things to others, that their lives are better. So, as far as love and relationships go, being an empath, a lot of the times we overdo it, and people can find us a bit annoying if they're not the right kind of person. And so a lot of relationships will end just because we kind of overdo it for people. And but then you run into someone every now and then who understands that you're an empath, and understands that you want everyone else to be happy, and understands that you'll do anything for them, so they'll take full advantage of that. And usually it's a narcissist personality type. Sometimes it's a sociopath personality type who will pretty much use and abuse and siphon all of our energy until we have nothing left. And then when we're just a shell of a human being and we're crumbling and we're falling apart and we can no longer give them every single thing that they want, that's when they go ahead and leave us just for dead. Because a narcissist only cares about themselves, and they only care about the fact that they're uncomfortable in this world and that they're not happy with themselves. So they have to take everyone else and make sure that they're on the same level, bring them down, and then they can't accept for themselves the things that they've done in their life, so that they just take that out on other people, and they shift blame around, and they, pretty much just try to destroy you. A sociopath, on the other hand, doesn't really have any feelings about anyone or anything. And instead, they just want to destroy everyone and manipulate every situation and use you just for some gain, and then they'll go ahead and leave. A lot of the times, a narcissist will stick around if you fulfill what they're missing and what they're searching for. A sociopath doesn't necessarily care, and they'll just leave you for dead. Excuse me. So on the deeper side of being an empath, the more mystical side, I want to talk to you about how we perceive energy and why we're always so darn stressed or sad. So every being, living being, has an energy field. This has been proven in science. They've taken, I forget what it's called, electrospectrographs or something, where they're able to basically see the electromagnetic aura around a living object. And just a side note, something I thought was very interesting is I saw this in a journal a long time ago. They took a fresh leaf, took the spectrograph picture, it showed energy of a full leaf, then they chopped off the top, threw that piece away, and took another picture, and the energy signature from the top of the leaf that they cut off was still there. And similarly, a lot of people who lose a leg or an arm, oftentimes they experience still feeling that leg itch because that energy is still there. You know, we're not simply the body, we're a lot more than that. And anyway, energetically, so we experience a lot of emotions, and emotions are tied to how we were brought up and kind of how our parents raised us. And you know, so we have a personality that's based on what everyone else wanted, but we have an energy. I don't know if it's like we're more receptive to the energy, and the energy of someone who is stressed out will cause us to be stressed out, and the energy of someone who is sad will cause us to be sad. Now these can be a hindrance as we age because we don't understand why we're stressed out, why we're depressed, why we're angry, why we hate ourselves. But the fact of the matter is that those gifts are insanely useful. For instance, if you get into a practice of meditation and start feeling the space around you, the more you practice it, the more you're able to tell when the energy in the space around you changes. And when it changes, you can tell in what way it's changed. If it's an angry energy, which is usually felt in a higher, choppier vibration, or a stressed out energy, which goes up and down really quickly, and short spaces in between the wave, the crests of the wave in the vibration. If it's sad, it's long, low, slow feeling of anxiousness. So you kind of have to experience for yourself. You're never going to be able to teach someone what those energetic feelings are. But you can teach someone to sit down and experience their own energy patterns and learn what the energy patterns around them are saying. So all you need to do is find a place where there are no other people around. Usually this is a good spot, but today there's a lot of people here. Probably because the old Hooch River is so high. But get alone and sit down and spend some time in just yourself and get a baseline. That baseline is what you need in order to understand your energy. So this is important for an empath because we spend so much time learning about other people's energies that we forget to recognize our own. So when it's in the mix, we don't know who we're getting it from, and that's part of the problem. So you have to learn your own energy signature. So get alone, spend some time with yourself, and see what you feel like at base. I would suggest doing it after a nice day's fasting with a lot of water, no fat food, just, kind of get a baseline feeling. And then, get someone around you, like in your family, and get them in the room, and do the same thing again, and start meditating, and get some time by yourself, and then see what it feels like when they come into that energetic space. See how it changes, and then pay attention to what their mood is that day, and see how that mood feels to you. And then try and get, as many people as you can and do that around. And you don't always have to be in meditation. Once you get good at it, you'll be able to walk around in your daily life and do it. And once you get used to knowing what you feel like, you can walk into a room with someone you've never met And you can recognize that all of a sudden you feel angry. And you know that you weren't angry. There was no stimulus to make you angry. No reason at all for it to be yours. So then you can separate that, and you can go up to someone and say, I understand that you're upset. And they'll be like, whoa, how do you know that? It's because you can tell. So an empath can become a very powerful psychic, or an intuitive at least, if they practice. And the most important part of that practice is spending time with you and your energy and yourself. So, yeah, and I'm sorry to all you people out there who are empaths who have been put in harm's way. We do it to ourselves a lot because we feel so deeply, and a lot of times we get addicted to feeling that deeply. And that's one of the biggest things that can harm us. Because when you get that way, you'll be in an abusive relationship for years and years. And you'll never know that it's anything outside of you. You'll think that you've caused this. You'll think that you're worthless. All these different things. And to survive as an empath, you have to be secure in knowing how you feel. Because if you're not secure in knowing how you feel, you'll never know how everyone else around you feels. And you'll never know if what you're experiencing is you or them. And that's a problem. So, let's take a look around here. It's really pretty. Yeah, take these dangerous little steps. So empaths of the world, I want you to understand one thing. You're beautiful and unique. And there's a lot that you can do in this world for yourself and especially for other people. And if all the empaths come together and teach each other how to protect ourselves while still holding that ability to love people as deeply as we do, that's when we will be able to take over. See, when the meek will inherit the earth, it's people like us who love and don't want to harm anyone. But in order to inherit the earth, first we have to stop letting ourselves be killed in this war. Okay, empaths, don't fall for the narcissist thinking that you can cure them. Because while it is technically possible for a narcissist to be healed of his issues or her issues, it's really hard to do. Okay, so until you're adept at separating every single one of your feelings from every single one of these feelings that you're picking up, I wouldn't suggest it. And I got lucky. I found another empath, and we're both Capricorns, and it's really confusing in some ways, but we feed off of each other's loving energy, and we're able to reciprocate all these different emotions that I've never been able to have with someone. And it's really good. So I know this has been a long-winded talk, but I want you empaths to understand that... Oh wait, let me teach you something else. I just remembered. If you want to protect yourself from other people's energies and you don't want to deal with it as an empath, focus on building your light body, or your Merkaba. And one way you can do that is, maybe some of you have played Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, but hopefully you have. If not, you can look it up when Princess Zelda is trapped by Ganondorf in like a giant diamond, like light tomb or something. I don't know how to describe it, but she was in a big diamond of light, and that's essentially what the Merkaba is. So you sit in meditation, or I like to stand for this one, and you imagine a point here, a pyramid. So it's a 3D object, like this, okay? And one on the bottom, and then it comes out to here in the front. It's hard to tell from this camera, but it comes in the front and down, and the side and down. And basically all it is it's an energy body that you can surround yourself with, that you can protect yourself from all of these different energies. And what you have to do is focus on the points, the pointy parts of that prism, or I don't even know what to call it, so I apologize for that. But So build your light body and focus on those points and hold them in your mind. And tell yourself that nothing energetically can pass through the walls of that. And just focus on it. And the river's so high today, it's crazy. Just focus on the solidity of it. And that nothing can get through and nothing can hurt you. And just pretend it's around you. Because pretending is the first step towards materializing something. So pretend it's around you, pretend that it's impenetrable, and just hold it. And while you walk around during the day, hold it. And use that to help protect yourself from the energies around you. I hope this has been useful and helpful. Empaths of the world, if you need anything, let me know. Love you.